Welcome to the winter season sports wrap-up. I'm Mr. Hart, the athletic director.
And I'm Ms. Martin, the assistant athletic director. We're going to give you all the highlights from this winter season.
And it was a crazy season, a challenging season, but there was a lot of great highlights from Chelmsford High School athletics. The first sport we're going to talk about is boys basketball. The boys basketball team started out slow, but finished the year winning 2 of their last 3 games. Let's hear from the captains about their season.
The boys varsity basketball team had an awesome season. Captains Tarmo Tari, Kamante Doncourt, and Nick Tedesco helped keep the team spirit high despite all the changes due to COVID this season, one such as the wearing of masks during games.
The masks, you have to wear masks the entire time. During games, we are allowed to go outside and take mask breaks, or if you're drinking water, obviously you can pull your mask down, but you do have to keep it on the whole time over the nose. And like you mentioned earlier, free throws there's only like the first free throw, there's no one allowed in the paint, and then the second free throw, there's only 4 guys, and it's honestly an offensive advantage for the shooter because it's 3 against 2 inside, so it's definitely different than it's been in years past.
Along with that, there's no under the basket inbounds plays this year. There's no baseline inbounds. And that used to be a huge part because we get a lot of fouls under the basket, and we'd have like specific plays. Like we'd have like 5 plays dedicated to those type of plays, you know. But now it's just all sideline inbound stuff instead of that. It's tough. The whole game's really just went by so fast. I didn't really have a lot of breaks to try and think about what was happening during it. But Matt McCarthy made a great play at the end of the half. He stole the ball, and he really cut the game close. Because at the end of the half, we were going to be down 4 going in the half, and then it ended up being like we were only down 1. So I feel like he made a great play there.
Had a lot of guys step up too. I mean, like some kids who maybe didn't get a lot of minutes last year had their first like real varsity game. I think some of those players really like stepped up to that role and brought in energy and like played their role really well. So I was definitely excited to see that.
Coach Mickle and the boys had a great basketball season. Up next, we're going to talk about girls basketball.
Sarah LaChance gets the ball over to Megan Good. Megan Good looking around. Gets it over to Angwin. Kate Kruger gets it. She's looking around. Still looking. Skips it over. Tough pass. Oh, Angwin gets it. Angwin goes in, and she gets fouled by Hanscom. Unbelievable.
Biggest challenge is probably to maintain like the family aspect of the game because we're used to the locker room and team dinners and just like being close in a huddle, but obviously like that can't happen this year.
So obviously we have to be wearing masks the entire game, and most importantly I think our foul shots are the biggest difference, that we can only have 4 people under the hoop now instead of 6, which makes it hard to box out, but we still have the same advantage as last year.
For all of us, since we're all seniors, it's just to be a leader on and off the court and make sure everything's running smoothly and hype each other up before the games and make sure everything is running well before and after games.
Something that has always stayed strong is our defense, no matter what.
They were all amazing defensively. We came in and with a different philosophy entirely on how to play defense, and I thought it showed in the game.
I feel like we need to shout out the whole team and the people that play and that don't play.
The girls have been very spirited on the bench, getting, almost feels like there's people in the stands the way they've kind of been acting and really helping out the people on the court.
Anyone who doesn't start is working us to become better, as well as we're pushing them to become better, and we've been really lucky to have everyone play.
All 4 of us are super thankful to have them for our senior season.
Great job by Coach Crowley and the Lions. Our senior Lions is going to be a very difficult group to replace, as they've been one of the more successful teams we've had in recent years in girls basketball. They were a lot of fun to watch, competed every night, and had their season ended by defending state champion Andover, but they were just a lot of fun to watch. Next up, we have the boys hockey team, who, hockey had a lot of obstacles in the beginning and had some games canceled that had to turn into inter-squad scrimmages, but the kids worked hard every day. They improved under Coach Leonard and finished the year winning an MVC championship at the Songas.
As captains, we have to do a good job kind of relaying that to the team, being safe on and off the ice with masks and stuff like that.
We've had the challenge of making time to go up to kids when we're not all together in the locker room and spending time with each other.
Usually we get to have more bonding experiences. Obviously it's more difficult. It's for the safety of families, so I completely get it, but we're doing the best we can.
Instead of having team water bottles and stuff like that, we have to bring our own. But yeah, it's pretty much the exact same as it always has been.
As far as rule changes, I mean, once you're on the ice, you wouldn't know any difference. I mean, you'd see the masks. That's about the only difference you see.
There's been a few rule changes. If there's too many people on the ice that are too close together for a certain period of time, they have to blow the whistle.
And I think we've all made sure that everyone's doing the right thing off the ice and is wearing their mask and not putting themselves at risk.
With a bunch of teams being shut down, so we've been fortunate to be able to play every day and haven't been shut down.
And so far, I think we've been one of the best teams in the MVC that has been able to come to practice as much as we can, and we haven't been missing anything.
We talked about the importance of staying positive, that when goals are going to get scored against us, we're not going to win every game 1-0 or 2-0. To have the same mental toughness to know hey, a goal scored against us, it's all right, not a problem, and we'll just move forward and look to punch back.
Congratulations again to our boys hockey team on their MVC2 championship. With their record of 4-2-1, they had a really great season.
Yep. And another team that won a championship too was our Billerica Chelmsford girls hockey team. So a lot of success for both of our hockey teams on the ice, and it was a great way to end our winter season with both teams getting wins over Billerica in the MVC championship games at the Songas Arena.
For me, being captain means just supporting everyone on the team and making sure everyone is doing as best as they can.
Staying positive and constantly working towards our goals and making sure everyone feels comfortable and that they can do their best.
So working together has been a big part of this season. Focused on working more as a team and not just as individuals.
We're all friends from both towns. We're not separate.
We are one team. We always talk about our team goals, and it's never oh, Billerica, let's do this, or Chelmsford, let's do that. We're just one big family. For the bus, we can't all be on the same bus, which that was kind of a big part last year of team bonding and team morale to get us hyped up for the game.
Normally, I bring my speaker and we all just play music and try to get hyped up outside, all spread out, since we all can't be on the way to the game on the bus.
Even though we're separated in cohorts, you still get to kind of know people as you're playing with them. I mean, it's not the same as if you had team dinners and stuff, but at least we still get to practice together and kind of interact.
Well, we definitely made sure to hype each other up, so even if you were tired, you still knew your teammates had your back.
And this is the first year we've beaten HPNA and Tewksbury-Methuen as BC. As we keep going forward, I think we're going to keep winning.
Congratulations to Coach Monroe, Coach Crawford, and the rest of the BC hockey team. Our girls hockey team from wire to wire was just so fun to watch. They finished the season with only one loss, and all of their wins were just fairly convincing. They really have, taken to Coach Monroe and Coach Crawford. The girls have really come together and really had one of the better girls hockey seasons that I can remember. But for any team, to only have one loss throughout the year is pretty impressive. So congratulations to our girls. Another impressive team was our girls gymnastics team. And they just did a great job all season. We're in it right to the end, into their final weekend. We're in contention for an NBC Cup, but lost a tough meet to Andover down the stretch. But nonetheless, the girls had a great time and worked hard every single day.
Those are some awesome highlights from our girls gymnastics team. Gymnastics coached by Dawn DeVito. They ended up in 3rd place this season, and they had a record of 5-2. Another great season that we had was our boys swim team. They had an amazing season. They were undefeated, and they went undefeated the whole season. They went right into the NBC championship, and they won that. So they had a great season, and we're going to hear from them as well.
Yesterday was our first meet, and honestly, it was probably the best first meet I've had as a coach, as a team. Like, it really was top to bottom, unbelievably good. They swam well, they were behind their teammates, all the while trying to follow every COVID procedure that we have, which isn't ideal. And, we're swimming virtually this year, so we don't have a competitor with us. You can't do that this year. So it's just you're racing yourself and your teammates. And they really did a good job, and they're really putting their heads down and moving forward.
I was really proud of a lot of the underclassmen, especially some of the younger kids. They swam so well. And you have to encourage your teammates, especially like in a time like this where it's hard to keep up morale and stuff like that. I think a captain, it's like really important for them to make sure that everybody in the team's doing fine and like everybody's still having fun, even though it's hard to do that right now.
You have to be able to get all your guys on the same page and be ready for when it's time for the meet to start. We got to make sure that everyone's on the right track and then start, getting ready in time.
When it comes to relays, Curry wants us to be able to keep our mask on when we're done swimming and just get to the side and get away from, I guess, everyone who doesn't have a mask on.
Yesterday definitely got me excited for the season. Honestly, I think we can have a really good record this year. Our team looks good, so I'm excited.
I think most of them are very happy that they're getting the opportunity to swim and compete. I will tell you that right now, I am floored at how well they're doing with it.
Congratulations to our boys swim team. What an amazing season. To finish undefeated is just so hard to do, and these guys really just brought it every single meet. Our boys team is led by our own Craig Vitale. Coach Vitale, I don't think there's anyone more prepared than him for any sport, and it shows. He puts a lot into the swim season, and he does a great job leading our kids, and it's no surprise the success that we have. The last sport that we'd like to talk about is our ski team. Our boys and girls ski team got bad news at the beginning of the year where the mountain wasn't going to let them race, and then as soon as we made the announcement, the next day they reversed course, thank God. So our skiers were able to get into a season. Our girls finished in 3rd place. Our boys finished in 4th place. They had a lot of fun at the mountain. It was a very different season for Coach King and Lions, but as far as normally, there's less restrictions, so there's more members on the team. But nonetheless, the kids all came together. They had a great season, and they had a lot of fun on the slopes. To end this, I just want to, thank all of our coaches and our athletes. We know that this has been a difficult time for them, difficult time for all of our kids, and that things changed a lot for them. But I can't say enough about the resiliency of our kids. Even though things changed once they got between the lines and they were playing their sports, they were having fun, they were with their friends, they were working hard, and it was just great to see our kids competing in the maroon and white. Lori, I think you'd probably agree with me that maybe one of our MVPs this year was our TV crew. You hear everywhere, everyone thinks that our group does the best job of streaming. But not only that, our kids and Mr. Peterson, who are out there doing multiple games at the same time. I think people forget that this is like a local, television group, and it's not NBC Sports or ESPN, and we're still demanding that of them, and they came through. So we had a lot of great moments. I thank you guys so much. I also want to thank our Booster Club with the great idea of putting the fans in the stands and doing little things for the kids that way. Lori, what do you think? What was your highlight of the winter season?
I mean, just being here overall has been great for me. I think everyone comes up every day with a positive attitude, and that definitely makes things a lot better. This is a tough situation for all of us to be in, but I feel like we're all going through it together, and that's definitely made things great. It's made things easy, and we're having a lot of fun here. It's difficult, but we're having a good time, and it's really enjoyable.
Yep, we're having a lot of fun, and as we speak, we're right into our fall 2 sports. We're looking forward to another great fall season. But in closing, I just want to thank those people again. Thank you to Chelmsford TV and Mr. Peterson, to our Booster Club, our coaches, and our kids. Our kids are great, and they just work hard every day, and I'm very thankful and grateful that we get the chance to work with them on a daily basis. So thank you, Chelmsford High School. Thank you to our athletes and the whole Chelmsford High School community.